Hey everyone, I am Jackie Lara Haird, the Tigress of the Light, and today we're going to be offering a video that is about a very commonly asked question. And I'm going to take another stab at it today. The question is, how do I go about channeling light language? This is a rather complicated yet highly simple answer. So we're going to try and break it down for you today. We certainly have some workshops online. You can find them through my website that takes you a little bit step by step, but we're going to try a little bit of a different angle today. So something that we're finding is there's there of course everyone has their own opinion, right? That's the thing about spirituality, is everybody has their own opinion because it is a very individual experience. So the thing with all things spiritual is because it is such a personal experience, whatever it is that we are experiencing is probably going to be very clear and in some cases very intense. So we believe that this is the only way, this is the thing, because I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is the truth, which is true for the person who's experiencing it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to translate well to others, okay? So this is why we can have some amazing healers out there that can offer incredible energy healing to people and hit our whole broad demographic of people because of the way that they are able to channel, move through them a very broad spectrum of energy. So it's going to be able to connect with a lot of individuals because everybody's kind of residing in their own unique space. And then there's going to be people who are kind of a bit more niche specific, right? So they are really, really good at channeling this or transferring or whatever you want to say, this one band of frequency. So it's going to limit the number of people that they're able to really assist because there's only so many people residing in that space currently, right? And of course, everybody is in their own developmental process. Everybody's experiencing life and getting knocked around and, you know, up or down or sideways or whatever. So we're all moving and we're all kind of grooving with the energies that we're coming across. But when it comes to light language, what the first thing I really want to say to you is this is a light language is simply an expression of energy. This is not something that you as an individual need to be initiated into. So I really want to get this out there. You do not need to pay someone to receive an initiation. Light language is energy. That's it. Okay. Now, how it gets expressed is going to be unique to the individual. So if we dive into this a little bit deeper, so okay, light language is energy. We get that. Okay. So now let's say we want to speak light language. Well, first thing we need to do is begin understanding energy. So if you haven't already, if you're not one that's already channeling light language, if you're watching this video, then you're probably curious about how to do this, right? Well, start with energy training. Start with learning how to run energy through your hands. Do some healer training. Do some psychometry. Develop your psychic skills. Something that's going to help you to grow in your kind of energetic spiritual awareness. And then the next thing is, as you are doing that, as you are developing and honing in on those skills, which you absolutely have, everyone can run energy. This is like part of being human. We all have chakras on the palms of our hands that are designed to do it. So you can too. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be the best healer in the world, but that's okay. There's lots of great healers out there. So if that's not for you, that's totally fine. But you can play with energy, you can run energy, and you can start to experience what that means. And as you develop that skill, I really want you to focus on grounding. Grounding, 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 because we need to be able to anchor these energies wherever they're coming from, whether it's our higher self, whether it's Yeshua or Kuan Yin or Archangel Michael or whoever it is, Isis, that whoever it is that you're seeking to channel, your guides, We need to be anchoring in these energies into the body. Now, we don't want to stay up here. We want this to come right down, right to our tippy toes. We want this in our feet so that the energy is really being contained in the body. The benefit to this is that you are going to understand the energy more because your body is a feeling instrument. So it's also going to help you to um, heighten those skills of feeling. You're going to be able to perceive better. And this is all practice. So for those of you who are like, just give me a course I can take so I can channel light language. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. You can certainly go make it up. There's plenty of people out there doing it where you're just going to speak gobbledygook and go like, look at me, I can channel light language. Well, no, because there's no energy behind it. That's what light language is. Light language is energy. So we need to understand energy and continue developing those skills. So here's someone who has been channeling light language for many years, and I continue my training in understanding energy from extremely intelligent people who are older than me and have been doing this for decades. Okay? Like, like we need to be humble and know that we don't know everything, and there's so much out there to learn. So, find yourself some good teachers. Find yourself some good teachers, and it's okay to have a bunch of teachers actually, because they're all going to throw in information that's at some point probably going to be of benefit to you on your journey. Okay, so we have understanding energy, so continuing our education, maybe doing some energy healing classes. You can take Reiki, you can take magnified healing, you can take pranic healing, you can, like, I don't know, there's so many different modalities out there if you want like a list. I know, I know you can find a list if you Google it. So just like Google energy healing modality list or something, you probably find like 50 different modalities out there. Of course, I teach fractal line healing. This is super powerful and would certainly help you to understand energy better from a little different perspective. So that might resonate, might not. So we're going to understand energy and we're going to ground it because we need that energy into our being. And then we're going to practice. We're going to practice. So there's different ways that we can channel light language, of course, right? So you've probably seen, you know, it's written. We can speak it. Of course, speaking isn't very far from singing. And then the other thing to realize is that light language is kind of the energy of, yeah, it's kind of, it's the language of the universe. So it's the language of our soul. It's the language of all of our higher aspects. It's the language of God, okay? It's the language of the universe. And I resonate with light language being language of the light. So certainly there is language out there that is something else of a kind of a different vibration, a lower vibration that I discern personally as dark language. Okay, that's how I work it out in my being. Now, this might not resonate for you. You might have a different take on it, and that's totally cool. This is just what aligns with my being and makes sense to me. Okay, so if we talk about when I speak of light language, I'm speaking of the language of the light. It's connected to our heart center and it's connected to the higher aspects. And so that brings us to our kind of third main point. So we're going to learn about energy, we're going to learn how to ground really, really well, and we're going to work on our heart space because when we want to channel of the light language in my world, then it's going to be very, very much heart-centered. And the thing is that as this planet, as the collective consciousness is moving, hopefully into this great new 5D kind of world, which is an elevated consciousness, it's heart-based. Okay, this is 5D, living in this five-dimensional reality is a heart-centered, heart-focused reality. So regardless if you end up speaking, writing, whatever light language, being able to connect in with the heart space is going to be very, very beneficial for you. And if nothing else, connecting with the heart space is very good for the physical body. So it really helps with the nervous system. So those of us who get overwhelmed easily with all these crazy energies, even if you go to like a spiritual fair and you're like, whoa, there's so much energy here. I can't, like, I'm so ungrounded. I'm freaking out, whatever. Being able to ground, but also come back to the heart is going to really help to regulate the whole body, help you think more clearly, help you communicate more clearly. Very, very helpful. I recommend checking out Heart Math if you haven't done so already. They have some fabulous techniques that help us to connect in with the heart space and that really work with the body. So certainly one for the toolbox. And I personally have used some of their techniques before working with light language because it gets you connected to the heart. It's brilliant. It's so brilliant. I use them actually quite a lot. So those are kind of the three big points. I'm I'm sorry to say that it isn't as simple as, oh, well, you just start channeling. You can also start spirit writing, channeling spirit. So if you don't have a connection with your spirit guides yet, then that would be something to work on. Now, okay, for those of you who don't know how to do that, I will share how I do that. I enter into a meditation and I connect in with my heart space and I ask the universe, because I don't know who I'm going to talk to, I ask the universe, great spirit of the amazing love and light, please help me connect with a being of the light that I can communicate with. And then I ask for that communication to be in a way that I can understand. So we start there and we practice. Because this is a skill like anything else in life. If we're learning how to cook, if we're learning how to ride a horse, if you're learning how to, I don't know, walk on a tightrope, it's something that takes practice. It's a skill that we develop. So don't expect to be able to do this stuff immediately. Some people will, some people won't. It's an individual thing, right? Now, as for the different types of light language that we can channel, like different dialects, let's say, what I wouldn't focus on, if you're just starting out, I wouldn't focus on, oh, I only want to speak Palladian or something like that, or I only want to channel light language from my higher self, for example. We don't want to limit ourselves when we're first starting out on something. We want to really keep the doors open, but we want to be clear at least on the quality that we want to channel. So this is why I say, bring in however you want to say it. I like the sound and the feel of great spirit of the amazing love and light. I use that a lot. Um, and I ask for the beings of love and light who support me, or some kind of terminology like that. So I'm very clear of who I'm wanting to connect with. But the beings of love and light who support me, that's broad, right? This could be ancestral, this could be galactic, this could be an ascended master, like this could be my higher self, like or some other aspect of me, like it's keeping the door open. And once you do make contact, like let's just say you start blurting out sounds and you're like, whoa, that was weird. Or you start doodling something and you kind of go, wait a minute, that could be something. We want to nurture that. So we might not know straight away what it is, but it's something that we want to say, okay, this is happening. Thank you. For gratitude that this is starting to happen. Okay, we get excited about it. But now, what is it? Who is it? Where's this coming from? And then be quiet. So ask the question and then wait to receive. And you might not get it that day. It might take you 6 months. You have to be okay with not getting the answer. And that's one of the biggest lessons I find with people, and myself included, like so frustrated that I didn't just have all the answers straight away. Like, oh my gosh. No, breathe with it. It's almost like spirit teaches you the importance of letting go of the expectations, letting go of being able to know everything. at some point, when you've practiced enough and you get into a better flow with it, you release those expectations anyway, but that creates more space for the answers to come. So we let go to receive. And when we let go, we're quiet, we're in our heart, we're grounded, and we can be so connected. So I'm really good at dissociating. I can leave my body like as well as anybody. Okay. I had to learn how to ground. And I have to say that grounding has been my greatest tool for being able to do all the things that I do. Because now I can anchor in the energy and have a greater understanding of what it is. We're back to, this is full circle, back to understanding the energy. So play with energy. This is how we learn how to channel. This is how we learn how to speak, write, dance, make music in a way that's connected to that light language, universal loving energy, so that there's substance behind what's coming through. For the people, like, I believe everything in this room here is light language. It's of God, right? It's being manifested here. So objects can be an expression of light language too, because it's the love of God that's created this. But when we want to focus it as something like we want to use it as a healing for ourselves, or we would just want to speak it because it's cool, or draw it because it's cool, and you know that there's some benefit to it, well, we get to explore like what that all means to each of us as an individual by sitting with the energy and tuning into what the energy is doing. What the energy is doing. So if we think back to how the energies can be healing or it can be informational, like that's how I kind of describe light language, is it can come through as a healing energy or it can come through as a message. And I've learned how to discern that really well with practice, okay, with practice. And sometimes it can overlap. There are times when it's like it's healing and then there's a message. And it's healing and there's a message, or there's a message and then whoop, little line of healing energy there. Just generally speaking, it's there's a difference in the quality. So training yourself to understand the qualities of energy, the different frequencies and vibrations, and expanding your awareness to that by grounding, by connecting to your heart space. This is a lot of information. Um, I really you probably should watch this a few times to try and dissect some of the things we've talked about. None of this has really been spoken of before. The light language course that I offer sort of goes over the fundamentals of basics. What is light language? What are light codes? What are some of the things you can do with them? And then it goes through some exercises that can help to develop the skill. So some of the things that we've been talking about today, while we go through and kind of like show you some of the things, give you some meditations, things like that. So you might find that interesting, but really it's just about finding the practices, the alignments with like energy healing techniques, the teachers that you want to connect with that have something that maybe you go to a workshop with them for one weekend, maybe you work with them for a decade. Like, like it's okay to be fluid with what you're working with and remain unattached. And that's what's going to give you the greatest opportunities. So anyways, this is a lot of information. I really hope that it's been helpful to you. And if you have any other topic suggestions, let me know in the comments below. And you can always email me at info@lightcodesbylara.com. Remember to share this video, share this with other people who need to hear this, because there's a lot of gems in this that we've talked about. So share this with people who you feel need to hear this. And Remember to like it and subscribe and hit that bell so that you get notified when we make another video. They usually drop about every Thursday, about once a week, so keep your eyes open for that. And until we meet again, I am wishing you the very, very, very best. Massive blessings. Until next time, all blessings.